2024 has been a tough year for Russia. The conflict in Ukraine and the sanctions imposed by other countries have created a perfect storm for their economy. Before the year even began, Russia was already facing serious economic challenges. The war in Ukraine had taken its toll, and the effects of sanctions were becoming impossible to ignore. Prices were going up, making it harder for everyday Russians to afford basic necessities. The energy sector, which is a huge part of Russia's economy, was dealing with price caps and restrictions on exports. From the rising cost of food to worries about losing jobs, these economic hardships are affecting everyone in Russia. To truly understand what's happening in Russia and how it affects the rest of the world, we need to take a closer look at these challenges. One of the biggest problems facing the Russian economy is rising prices, also known as inflation. Official numbers say inflation is around 7%, but many experts believe the real number is much higher. The value of the Russian ruble has gone down because of the sanctions and economic uncertainty. This makes things from other countries more expensive, driving up prices for everyone. On top of that, problems with getting products to stores, both inside and outside of Russia, have made things worse, leading to shortages and even higher prices. The Russian government's decision to spend more on the military has also put pressure on prices. They're putting more rubles into the economy, which can make inflation worse. The prices of essential goods and services like food, transportation, and utilities have all gone up significantly. This means that people have less money to spend on other things. The Russian government has tried to fight inflation by raising interest rates and controlling the prices of some essential goods. However, it's still unclear if these measures will be enough, and inflation remains a serious threat to the Russian economy and the well-being of its people. Besides inflation, the Russian economy is facing another big challenge: a shrinking economy. This means that the country is producing less than it used to. Experts predict that the Russian economy will shrink by 6% in 2025 compared to last year. This is a serious situation. The energy and trade sectors, which are incredibly important to the Russian economy, have been hit especially hard by sanctions. Restrictions on Russian energy exports like oil and gas have reduced their income and forced them to find new customers and trading partners. This shrinking economy has serious consequences. It means people are losing their jobs, businesses are investing less, and overall economic activity is slowing down. The Russian government is trying to help by spending more and supporting important industries, but the problem is huge. A 6% drop in the economy is a significant decline, and shows just how serious the challenges facing Russia are. Oil has always been crucial to the Russian economy. It makes up a large portion of their exports and government budget. However, 2024 has brought a lot of uncertainty for the Russian oil industry. International sanctions and changes in the global energy market have shaken things up. The biggest change has been the price cap imposed on Russian oil by Western countries. While Russia has found new buyers for its oil, they often have to sell it at a lower price. This price cap is putting pressure on Russia's oil earnings. Russia is also facing challenges in maintaining its oil production because of sanctions on technology and equipment. Many Western energy companies have left Russia, taking their expertise and technology with them. This could make it harder for Russia to develop new oil fields and keep the existing ones running smoothly in the long run. Despite these obstacles, the Russian oil sector has shown some resilience. They've redirected some of their oil exports to new markets, especially in Asia. However, the future of Russian oil remains uncertain. The impact of sanctions, changes in global energy markets, and the shift towards greener energy sources will all play a role in shaping its future. While we talk about inflation and a shrinking economy, it's important to remember that these economic problems are affecting real people. The most immediate and widespread impact is that things are becoming less affordable because of rising prices. For many Russians, especially those on fixed incomes or living below the poverty line, the sharp increase in the cost of food, housing, and other essentials has made it incredibly difficult to make ends meet. This financial strain is forcing families to make tough choices, like cutting back on essential goods and services, using their savings, or going into debt. Beyond the financial strain, the economic downturn is also creating a lot of uncertainty and anxiety. People are losing their jobs, especially in sectors hit hard by sanctions, and many are worried about their economic future. The Russian government has implemented some social welfare programs and subsidies to help the most vulnerable, but it's unclear if these measures will be enough given the scale of the challenge. Despite these serious challenges, it's important to remember that the Russian economy is resilient. They've weathered economic storms before, and the government, under President Vladimir Putin, has taken steps to counter the impact of sanctions and support key sectors. One of Russia's main strategies has been to become more self-sufficient. This means boosting domestic production of essential goods, relying less on imports, and developing alternative supply chains. Russia has also been working to strengthen its economic ties with non-Western partners, particularly in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. This includes expanding trade relations, attracting new investment, and building stronger political and diplomatic relationships. The Russian government has also implemented various financial policies to stabilize the economy. While the effectiveness of these measures is debatable, there's no doubt that Russia is actively trying to navigate the current economic storm. The economic challenges facing Russia don't stop at its borders. As a major player in the global economy, Russia's struggles have ripple effects around the world, impacting global energy markets, trade flows, and geopolitical calculations. The most immediate and significant impact has been on global energy markets. Russia is a major producer and exporter of oil and gas, and the sanctions and disruptions to its energy sector have contributed to instability and price spikes in global energy markets. This has had a knock-on effect on consumers and businesses worldwide, particularly in Europe, which has historically been heavily reliant on Russian energy supplies. Furthermore, Russia's economic woes have disrupted global trade flows. Sanctions have created uncertainty and complexity in international trade, while the contraction in the Russian economy has dampened demand for goods and services from other countries. Beyond the economic realm, Russia's economic challenges have also strained relations between Russia and the West. The interconnectedness of the global economy means that Russia's economic challenges have far-reaching consequences. Predicting the future of the Russian economy is difficult. There are many factors at play, both within Russia and globally. However, by looking at current trends and considering potential scenarios, we can get some idea of what the future might hold for Russia. One possibility is that the Russian economy stabilizes in the medium term. This would mean that the government's countermeasures are working, inflation is brought under control, and the country adapts to the new reality of sanctions. Another possibility is that Russia's economic problems worsen, potentially triggered by an escalation of the conflict in Ukraine or more sanctions. Under this scenario, Russia could face a prolonged recession, high inflation, and a decline in living standards, potentially leading to social unrest and political instability. A third scenario involves a gradual easing of tensions between Russia and the West, potentially leading to a partial lifting of sanctions. The ultimate trajectory of the Russian economy will depend on a complex interplay of factors, including the course of the conflict in Ukraine, the effectiveness of sanctions, and the success of Russia's own economic policies. The economic challenges facing Russia in 2024 are complex, multifaceted, and deeply intertwined with the ongoing geopolitical turmoil. Understanding Russia's economic reality is crucial for informed policymaking, responsible business decisions, and meaningful citizen engagement. By grappling with the complexities of the situation, we can move beyond simplistic narratives and engage in a more nuanced and productive dialogue about Russia, its role in the world, and the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. The economic pressures facing Russia are real and significant, with the potential to impact the lives of millions of people both within and beyond its borders. Only then can we hope to navigate the challenges ahead and build a more stable and prosperous future for all.